Hi everyone, and welcome to week 12 of our Tula Pink Butterflies second edition sew along, hosted by Pat Sloan at her website ilovetomakequilts.com. This week we have a very simple block, but stay tuned to the end as I show you a rough guide on piecing the sections together. Okay, let's sew. A nice simple block to make this week, but please remember when making the pair of these that they need to be a mirror image of each other. The fabrics that we need for this week from left to right are citron in the mineral, chameleon in the hexie, spring in the wildflower, and lime from the fairy frost. Here we are at the cutting mat with all of our pieces and parts cut out as per the pattern. We're going to set these two rectangle pieces aside for now, and with our remaining rectangles and squares, we are going to make two flying geese units. These flying geese units will be made in the sew and flip fashion. As we only need two, there's no need for me to use the 4 at a time method. Once you've drawn a diagonal line from corner to corner on the smaller of your squares, we're going to place it in the corner, ensuring that all of our edges are lined up nice. And then I'm going to take that to the machine and stitch just to the right of my line. With our stitching now done, we simply need to cut these apart and then fold our corners back or flip for the sew and flip to check for correctness. What we want to see when we fold this back is that all of our edges line up. I'm going to bring this up to the camera in a moment, and you'll notice that just at the start there, I'm actually right on the line instead of next to it as we go down the rest of the piece. And when I fold this back, it doesn't actually give me a perfectly crisp edge on that top corner or meet up on the other side. It is hard to see because it is all the same colored fabric, but I am going to unstitch this one and redo it. Let's check the other one now and see how we went. This one actually looks like I went too far on the other side of the line, so when I flip this over, it's actually going to have a huge amount of overhang. Let's wait and see. Oh, not too much, but I do also unpick this one and re-sew it as well. There's no problem with doing this, and you need to do whatever you need to do to get the most perfect block for your purposes. With those redone now, I will fold those back in a second, but I can tell you, because I've already seen the footage and I was there when it happened, that this time I am happy with how they sit, and I press them down and I trim off the back 2 layers of the fabric. We then repeat this to do the other side, but in this instance, because I like to go from the solid side of the fabric when I'm sewing on the sew and flip, I do actually move my needle over and I sew to the left of the line. With our flying geese now done, we just need to sew our two little strips here together on the short edge. And in this instance, because there's going to be a little bit of bulk at the top of your flying geese unit there, when we sew these on, I am going to press the seam allowance on these ones open. We now just need to attach these to the top of our flying geese units, making sure that we line up that center seam with the peak of our flying geese. Don't do what I do in this video and make them both the same. We do actually need these to be a mirror image. Once this has been sewn on, we're just going to press this up towards the two small rectangles. As I said before, don't do what I did and make these identical. They do need to be a mirror image. And as you will see from the next image coming up, I did actually fix these off camera later. Stay with me now and we will go through piecing a few of the sections of the butterfly together. Now, I'm not doing any narration and there is no actual sewing footage throughout this part. Just simply watching the process of piecing 3 of our sections of the butterfly. Thanks for joining me again this week, folks. If you haven't done so already, like my video, share it with a friend, or subscribe if you haven't already done so. Most important, tickle that little bell icon and you won't miss a thing. Bye for now, and I'll see you all again next week.